Hello, friends, and welcome in to Outreach Radio Chicago. I'm your host, Mike Mercado, and I want to thank you so much for making us a part of your day. And it is a very special show for us today, guys. 2015 is over, my friends, and it is a year in review here on Outreach Radio Chicago. We picked a few of our favorite shows over the last few months, along with our listeners' favorite shows, and we put it a little bit together so you could get a little flavor of what we did in 2015. We have some great guests leading up for 2016, guys, but honestly, this is only possible because of what you guys do consistently by listening, by sharing, by viewing, by posting, by commenting, all that. You guys have helped us out so much. Before we go any further, thank you so much for each and every one of you for every single time you press play or you watch a video or you read one of our posts or you see one of our pictures. It means the world to us. A lot of work goes into Outreach Radio Chicago. A lot of work nobody sees, a lot of work nobody talks about. The guests do a lot of work. And every time you guys listen and we can help one person, whatever the subject may be, our job is done. And it is one of the best feelings in the world. Now, if you want to be interactive with us, guys, we're everywhere in the universe. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like the page on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. And if you missed anything like pre and post show content, just go to YouTube/MikeMercado2333. We have a lot of awesome stuff there, guys. It is the end of the year review here on Outreach Radio Chicago. It's some of our favorite guests, along with our listeners' favorite guests here on Outreach Radio Chicago. Hope you enjoy. Stay tuned. Thank you for tuning into Outreach Radio Chicago's 2015 in review. It has been a great year, guys, and we kick off this special with one of our favorite guests. She is Jackie Kopp, and she joined us from Second City Canine Rescue. Jackie, thank you so much for joining us on Outreach Radio. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about how this all started. I mean, it's I know it's easy to love dogs, but to actually go out there and try to make a difference. You want to tell us a little bit about how you guys got started? I know you've actually went to school. You're trying to get is it a doctorate in veterinarian?
Yeah, I'm actually studying for my DVM right now, so I'll be a vet in 2019.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We started in September 2011 with just 3 of us. Wanted to make a difference with the homeless pets in Chicagoland and got together and decided to form a rescue. We currently have over 200 volunteers, and we saved over 1,400 lives through the work of our foster homes.
Unbelievable.
Thanks. We don't have a facility, so all of our dogs are housed in foster homes, which is really great because we're able to get to know a little bit more about them, whether they're housebroken, how they react when visitors come to the door, how they are with children, things like that, so that we can find a really good forever home for them.
So how does that process work? I actually have a friend who fosters kittens and cats. And so how does that process work when it comes specifically with you guys? What's kind of the screening process to find a foster family, and then from there to find the right adoptive family?
Sure. So for our foster families, we have them send in an application. From there, they would go to one of our orientations where they learn a little bit about us, make sure it's a good fit for us and for them. And then we do a home visit where we go to their house, kind of see how their family dynamics are, see if they do well with like a higher energy dog or more of a couch potato, see what would kind of fit in their family. Mm-hmm. And then they pick from some of the dogs that we see that come in from high kill shelters, including Chicago Animal Care and Control, as well as shelters from out of state. We work with several shelters in Oklahoma, Alabama, Kentucky, where the kill rate's pretty high as well. And then from there, our adopters find us usually online, and then we also have adoption events every Saturday in Schaumburg and Elk Grove.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and then they meet the dogs there, and we do home visits on them as well. So we're able to have them meet the dog initially at the adoption events, which can be kind of chaotic, and then do the second meet and greet at the home where the dog acts more like it would normally.
Yeah, right.
There's not 30 other dogs around.
Yeah, right. No kidding. Hey, look, I found my friend over there. Oh, there's a squirrel.
Yep.
That's about right. Now, so this is something that's always just kind of it always kind of just bothered me and just been on the top of my head. But what's the reason why there's just so many, homeless dogs? Is it because, like, I've always read different things where it's people moving into apartments and then they move somewhere else and they don't allow these dogs and they don't, they leave them. They just leave them at these shelters. What, in the years you've been doing this, what is kind of the biggest plague when it comes to why dogs are being left homeless? Like, what is the problem? Where is this coming from?
I think that the root of the problem is spay and neuter. A lot of people don't spay and neuter their pets, and that's key in preventing those puppies from being born in the first place. Once someone gets a pet, the normal age that we see dogs in shelters is between 6 months and 2 years.
Okay.
So it's once they're past that adorable little I want a puppy stage, and without training, they turn into little hellions. So I think that that's a big part of it, is it just becomes too much for a lot of families. And same, just like you said, people moving, people that are a little more transient, maybe moving to apartment buildings that don't necessarily allow pets at all, or pets over a certain weight, or pets of a certain breed. That's something we see a lot.
What do you think? What would you give advice to somebody, a first-time adoptive parent to a dog? What do you suggest to them? What advice do you have?
So my advice is to not fall in love with a picture, and that's really, really hard to do.
Yes.
My favorite type of family that we have come to us is say, hey, we want a dog. We don't know what kind of dog, but here's a little bit about us. And they tell us about their lifestyle, about how often they're home, about how much they exercise, about how much they anticipate going to training or not going to training. And that's not always a bad thing. If they want an easy dog that they don't have time to train, we have a 5-year-old dog named Doug right now who's a great dog who's housebroken. He's, you know what I mean? Like, he's got the basic commands down. That's an easier dog for a family that really wants kind of a plug-and-play dog. However, if you fall in love with the cute, fluffy Australian Shepherd puppy, and you don't necessarily know what you're getting into, that's a really intelligent breed, and that's a breed that's going to need a lot of training, a lot of exercise, and a lot of work, which, if that's what you want, that's not a bad thing. But if it's not what you want, you're not going to have a good fit. So a lot of times we'll see people that fall in love with a picture on the internet, and it's just not the right fit for their lifestyle. So we always try to kind of steer them towards a dog that sounds like it would be a better fit for what they're actually looking for, rather than just on look. You can get on our website at secondcitycaninerescue.org. You can apply to foster. You can apply to adopt. See what we're about there. We also have a Facebook page. Just search Second City Canine Rescue. We've got a Twitter. It's at Second City, spelled out, and then the letter K and the number 9. And then we also have an event coming up that we're participating in called Rescue the Runway Chicago. It's at Lagunitas Brewing Company in the basement, and it is a fashion show with some rescue dogs. It's going to be a great time.
That's amazing. Any last words for anybody with the pets, thinking about adopting, thinking about giving up a dog? Anything that you should look out for our little guys, especially with the cold months coming up?
Sure, absolutely. Keep your dogs warm. Keep your pets inside. They're members of your family. If you're looking to adopt or looking to buy a dog, definitely keep adoption as your first option. And I'm in Auburn, Alabama. Absolutely.
Oh my. Okay. Okay. I apologize. You know what? I won't make any Auburn Tigers and Alabama Roll Tide stuff. Yeah. I'll leave it out of there. Okay.
I appreciate it.
We can. Jackie Cobb, president of Second City Canine Rescue. Thank you so much for joining us on Outreach Radio Chicago.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Follow us everywhere in the universe, guys. We're on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like the page on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. And if you missed any show, just go to YouTube/Mike Mercado2333. And the guests kept on coming here in 2015 as we were joined by Shoshana Bennett, and she gave us some awesome information about postpartum depression and how we can help out all the ladies in our life. Take a listen. And it is our honor here on Outreach Radio Chicago to have the very well-renowned clinical psychologist. She's an author. She does some great stuff with her guest lecturing and has helped so many people in our country right now in an issue that a lot of people ignore nowadays, which is a big shame. Joining us today on Outreach Radio Chicago, she is Dr. Shoshana Bennett. Dr. Shosh, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You know, I have to say, I went on YouTube really fast before we get into this, and to say how personable you are in such a subject that's I don't want to say it's taboo, but it's almost something people don't want to talk about a lot, which is postpartum depression, and it amazes me that you know, okay, I'm 25. I'm a young man, and I don't know a lot about this, and it really scared me that so many people, my friends and family my age now, who are having kids, who are going through things like that. Can you just give us a little bit about your background? I did a little bit in the beginning of the show, but I want the fans of Outreach Radio to really get how awesome you are. So please just give us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you. Well, I was a special education instructor. I was working at the community colleges in the San Francisco Bay Area, but then I had a baby, and I absolutely lost myself. I had never been depressed before in my life, and I went into a suicidal depression. I had no idea what was hitting me. It was absolutely horrifying. The anxiety was through the roof. I had scary pictures going through my head. I mean, there's nothing but doom and gloom. I mean, I was thinking I was the worst mother on the face of the planet, and this went on for quite a while. Then I became better, and we decided to get pregnant again, of course, and then I plummeted again into another suicidal depression. So when I finally found out, this is after a year of the second serious depression, that there was a name for this, and that there was hope, and that there was treatment, and I thought, why had I became furious at the medical profession and the mental health. 1 in 7 of us, 1 in 7 mothers go through something more severe than the very normal baby blues.
That's unreal.
This is a public health issue. It affects everyone. It can affect the kids, the marriages, the partners themselves can become depressed if she's depressed, especially. It affects the workplace, the group she belongs to. This is not just a woman's issue. And it can be very, very serious. But the great news, Mike, is that there's so much you can do to help prevent it, and also it's 100% treatable.
Which is what which is what I love the most. One thing that we do here on Outreach Radio is we take serious subjects, but we want to make sure that people see the good light in this. And like you're a perfect example of that. Successful, hardworking, kind woman that you fell into this. This happened to you, and then you even mentioned that this doesn't just affect the woman. It scared me to think that. I don't even want to say we're helpless in this, but like, let's say as a father, husband, significant other, can you give us a little bit of a suggestion? Because I know there's, what was it? I think it's, is it 6 or, yeah, it's 6 different forms of it, right? So without being, doing the research, which you should do when you're planning on having your first child, as for the men out there listening, or for the partners, not the one delivering the baby, can you give us a little suggestion, or kind of like, the calm before the storm? What should we be looking out for?
Yes, I mean, if you're noticing that your wife can't sleep at night when she has a chance to, when everybody else is sleeping, baby sleeping, if she has some insomnia, she needs help right away. If her self-esteem drops, if she's putting herself down as a mom, saying, "Oh, anybody could do this better than I can," or the baby's rejecting me, or things like that, that's not a normal statement for a new mother. Overwhelm, things that used to be really, really easy for her, suddenly everything's hard. Appetite problems, usually a loss of appetite, irritability or anger. Is she snapping the head off everybody, the toddler or you, as the partner, even when it's not called for, those things like that. If the severity of her symptoms get in the way of her daily functioning, she needs some help. So you approach her with, "Sweetie, you deserve to be happy, and I see that you're really struggling. This is nothing to be ashamed about. This is so common for new moms. Let me make the first call. We're going to find you the best help we can. We're going to get through this together."
Now, okay, it's in 2015, the day we live in nowadays. I think people take the respect factor and they change it to a sensitivity factor that doesn't need to be there. Is this a situation where, we as men, as we're growing in this time now, we know better that we need to respect, and women are on if not on the same level, on a higher level than us, because of all the stuff they do and what they bring to the table for the whole world. But this is a situation where you have to be kind-hearted, right? Like, you have to have some form of sensitivity. This isn't something like, "Shake it off, kid. You're gonna be okay." It's
oh my gosh, I mean, she's guilt-tripping herself. I mean, she's thinking, "What's wrong with me? I've got a great husband. I got a place to live. My baby's doing fine. What? Am I just a spoiled brat?" She's putting herself down unless she gets really good information.
Which isn't fair.
No, of course not. So approaching her with nobody deserves this, and no one's immune to this either. This can hit the best of mothers, the smartest, the most well-grounded, the most spiritual. It hits indiscriminately. So you're not. don't worry about her becoming upset or getting defensive. People get defensive when they think they're being accused of something wrong, like you're not a good mother, and
Right.
But that's not how you're approaching her. You're approaching her with lots of compassion, saying, "Honey, this isn't your fault." And this can happen to anyone. You shouldn't be ashamed of this any more than gestational diabetes. I mean,
Right.
this is a very real illness. Let's get you some treatment so we can go away and we can go on with our happy lives.
How am I able to tell the difference, though, of like, what do they call them, the baby blues, and actually postpartum? Yeah.
Yes. So baby blues, again, very, very normal. It's mild, and it should be gone by about 2 weeks following delivery. So, but those two things need to happen for it to be baby blues. Very, very mild stuff, ups and downs. Yep, teariness for no reason, and feeling stressed. You're adjusting to motherhood. I mean, that's tough enough.
A little roller coaster, just a little one.
Yeah, right, exactly. But it should be gone. It should disappear. All of those symptoms really. She should feel much more like herself after a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, or at the outset, 3 weeks. Now, postpartum depression is more severe than that. It can happen immediately following delivery, like overlapping that first couple of weeks, or it can be baby blues that spirals into something more serious, or actually postpartum depression can occur any time up to the first year.
Really?
Postpartum. Yep.
Wow.
So again, most people, if they're going to experience it, it's within the first 3 months. But your audience should know that 8 months, 9 months down the road, she really might feel like she's losing. She's really losing her real self, and she shouldn't worry. I mean, she should, again, go to a healthcare practitioner she trusts, make sure it's not a thyroid issue or something else. And but if it's postpartum depression, again, with proper help, she will be absolutely fine.
It's DRSHOSH.com, and then it's darksideofthefullmoon.com. You can actually get the movie now. And are your books anywhere other than the website? Can you get them on Amazon?
Yeah. Yes, certainly, absolutely. If you go to my website, though, it'll take you directly to the right Amazon page.
Beautiful.
Sometimes it can be confusing on Amazon.
Yeah.
It'll take you to an old edition or whatever. So, yeah, it'll link directly where you need to go. There's also information on a free app that can be downloaded from any mobile device, and that's PPD, as in postpartum depression, PPD Gone, Gone. And it's got a ton of information on that app as well.
Do you have anything else for the listeners of Outreach Radio who obviously we're all thankful here for the work that you're doing and for coming on to the show? Is there anything else? Can we please plug anything else for you? Do you have anything on the horizon to end 2015?
Well, I've got many things happening, and they'll find out everything on the site. And thank you so much for being willing to do this show and have this important information out. And my last bit is, please don't suffer in silence. To your listeners, if you know anybody or you're not sure what you're experiencing, reach out, get help. There's terrific help out there. I work virtually, as do many of my colleagues, and get the help that you need and you deserve, so you can live your life the way you want to.
Dr. Soch, please keep doing that awesome work. Just know that our lines are always open for you. Whatever we could do here on Outreach Radio Chicago, we're supporting you everywhere we can, and all the awesome work you keep doing for all these millions of new mothers and fathers. And it's a subject that I don't think gets enough attention. And as long as we're doing this show, we'd love to make sure that your message keeps getting pushed out there, especially in our Chicago area.
Thank you so much, and thank you for doing this show again and bringing up this such a very important topic. It's show hosts and producers such as you have and such as yourself that really help us put out the information and give the information to the public that's so badly needed. So I thank you very much. 2015
was a great year for us here on Outreach Radio Chicago, but nothing can compare to when we were introduced to the fine people at Heart of a Marine Foundation. Roy Frank, Georgette Frank dedicated this foundation to their lost son, who was an amazing man, Philip Frank, and they had an amazing story. And they're just amazing people, our only two-time guest. And they joined us along with Barbara Matsoukas, and they gave us some information about the man, Philip, along with the great people at the foundation. Take a listen. And it is our honor right now to have, for the first time, our second-time guest. She is the executive director. She is Barbara Matsoukas, and he is the co-founder of Heart of a Marine Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to Outreach Radio Chicago, Barbara and Roy. Welcome in, guys.
Well, thank you for that introduction. Where's the applause? Oh, my goodness, it's far too much. Far too much.
How are you guys?
Very well, thank you.
Awesome. In the beginning of the show, we talked about how you guys were on, all the great stuff you guys had done before, and it's starting to pay off. My old hometown of 10 years, Elk Grove Village, where you guys are located at, are giving you your own day. Can you tell us a little bit about that and kind of how it started? Like, where did it begin? And kind of your emotions after you found out this was actually going to happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really don't know where it started. It started with my getting an email from the mayor's secretary.
Okay.
Actually, they did find out, I guess I can take it a step back. They did find out that in 2015, it is our 10th anniversary as a foundation. So it was on November 17th, 2005, that we officially received our 501c3. So I think that this word got somehow around, and I did hear from the mayor's secretary, Mayor Johnson of Elk Grove. His secretary contacted me and said, in honor of that, we're having the village board meeting that night. I think we'll read a proclamation that will declare that Tuesday, November 17th, is Heart of a Marine Foundation Day in Elk Grove.
So well deserved. Well deserved.
I think she said something like, would that be okay?
I think we'll manage.
I said, I'll try to figure that out. Can I get back to you? No, I said.
I'm sure. Roy, after all these years, I mean, when you and your wife found this out, I mean, when you first started this 10 years ago and all you guys kind of made this project really take off, I mean, I'm sure your son was the first thing that came to your mind, but what were the emotions kind of playing through that day?
It's so difficult to recount emotions when you hear things like that, because we have, over the 10-year period, experienced things that we never thought would ever happen. When they named the street after my son in New Jersey, it was just, to us it was staggering, that they would do something like that. And to have a day named for the foundation here in Elk Grove Village is also, a staggering thing, and we feel very humble when things like that are done for the foundation and in the name of the foundation. So it's a tremendous, tremendous honor, and all we try to do is keep up our end of the program here, so that people will hear about us and hear about those things and say, that's a good thing because of what we've been able to accomplish.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, and I say this I said it on social media, Facebook, Twitter. I said it everywhere. I mean, it couldn't happen to better people. It can happen to a more strengthening story. A story. You guys, just the work you do now. We're talking about the 10-year anniversary. There's actually other ways people can help too. The 10 for 10. Roy, you want to tell us a little bit about that, bud?
Our 10 for 10 campaign is all about people who want to support the foundation, donating $1 a year for the 10 years that the foundation has been in existence. That's why we call it 10 for 10. The monies, of course, that come in are always completely dedicated to our programs, our Walking Tall program, our military assistance program, et cetera, et cetera. But it is a way to ask people to support the foundation, which is not, a mortgage payment. It's a relatively small amount of money, but yet when you start adding all those $10 up, it can accomplish a great amount of things. For example, you could buy socks or underwear or a belt or personal care items for veterans that we donate. It'll also go a long way toward purchasing a cane for our Walking Tall project, which has become extremely active now through some veterans that are working in VA hospitals and asking veterans that are using standard canes there to contact us, and we will then send them a substitute or an ergonomically designed orthopedic cane for their comfort and stability. And that has literally caught fire. I get calls almost daily now from veterans in the Florida area, a lot of retired veterans down there who would be absolutely overjoyed to be able to have one of our canes. And we ship those out individually, not only to Florida, but basically all across the country to every person who was served in any of the 5 branches, regardless of whether it was war-related injuries, or it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with serving the country, and if they need an ergonomically designed orthopedic cane, we will ship them one at no cost.
November 17th is the big day. It's the Heart of Marine Foundation Day. Well deserved. I'm sure Phil's looking down, smiling. Can't believe that he's got a whole day named after him.
Well, we hope so. We think so too. And he's not only smiling, he's laughing sometimes. He's just bumping into one another. But I do hope that he is pleased, and I do believe that he is for whatever reason, because we're doing the best that we can for our everybody that he considered his brothers and sisters in arms. So we're chugging along, and I think he's pretty pleased. He'll be laughing at the Halloween party.
That's for sure. He'll be laughing at all the crow costumes. Guys, I can't thank you enough. Barbara Matsoukas, Roy Frank, Heart of Marine Foundation. You guys are honestly my favorite guest. I can't believe we're ready to go. You guys are going on 10 years of this. I can't wait for the next 10 years. I can't wait to have you guys on for the holiday season. So make sure November 17th is the big day, Heart of Marine Foundation Day, and along with October 30th, the Masquerade. Roy, Barbara, thank you so much. Will you guys have any last words for everybody at Outreach Radio Chicago? Any last things coming up? Little plugs?
Oh, nothing. I think that about covers it for the remainder of the year. But thank you to everybody for your continued support. We enjoy, like I said, if it's not monetary, if it's something for our veterans, please give us a call. We will make sure that your donation fits in with their needs, and we thank you for your support of serving our most deserving for 10 years. It is our pleasure. Our pleasure. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mike, for your input and your enthusiasm.
It's my pleasure.
I wish everybody had your dose of enthusiasm and energy. Thank you, Mike, for all that you do, and we'll see you. Hopefully, we will meet you soon.
I will be there November 17th to party with you guys on the big day.
Great. Thank you. Great.
I look forward to you guys. Thank you so much for joining us, Roy, Barbara. I don't know what else to say. You guys kick ass. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
And that'll do it for us, guys. 2015 is over for us at Outreach Radio Chicago. And we just want to thank you so much for making it an amazing year. I can't thank you guys enough. All the hard work, all the time, all the great callers, listeners, guests, everything we have is because of you guys. Thank you so much to all the great people who have joined us here on Outreach Radio Chicago, who gave us some of their time so that we could give you guys a source, a place that you could find out information, listen to, maybe get some help. And that's all we ever want to do here at Outreach Radio Chicago. Before we head out, I want to thank a few people. I want to thank Mike Zark, who's running the production room right now. Thank you so much for making sure that we're playing every single time on WSBC 1240 AM. Thank you so much, buddy. It means a lot to us. A big thank you to Mark Penske and George Murillo, the general manager and ops manager here at Access Radio, Outreach Radio Chicago. Thank you guys so much for giving me the platform, the opportunity to do what I love to do and to talk to the best fans in the world of Outreach Radio Chicago. A shout out to MJ and Nicole Mancha. I see you. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you to my family, my friends, and most importantly, thank you to all the listeners and all the contributors here on Outreach Radio Chicago. 2015 was awesome. 2016 is going to be even better, guys. I promise. I can't wait to talk to you guys. Please be safe. Take care of each other. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy your new year, guys. And I will see you here on Outreach Radio Chicago with Mike Mercado in 2016. Take us home, Hav. Hey everybody, Mike Mercado here from Outreach Radio Chicago, and I just want to thank you all for all the support you have given us on the brand new show. If someone you know wants to get the word out on a fundraiser, charity, or foundation in your local community, please send us an email at outreachradiochicago@gmail.com or send me one personally at mmercado@newswebradio.net. Or you can tweet me at mmercado2333, and don't forget to like our Facebook page at Outreach Radio Chicago. From right here at the studios, we'll see you next time on Outreach Radio Chicago.